is one of my favorite little riffs, man. I always liked this riff from Edgar Winter Band. It's just a classic record. Heard the other day. Let's just go through this thing. One of the things about this, I think, is as is in a lot of guitar playing, is the little subtle things. I mean, you can go. I mean, but it's the sliding that gets this thing. It starts with the, and then sliding into the note. So this is in the key of A. You want to think of partial chords. Again, one of the most important things, I think, is after you start playing, a lot of people just get used to, you learn playing whole chords. And then you get used to playing always whole chords. And you don't realize how that messes up things. You've got to get to, after you learn all your chords, you've got to get used to playing partial chords, and sometimes just 2 and 3 notes in it. This is one of those examples where you're really just, you're doing sliding in. It's in the key of A, so the chords that you're doing are walking down to an D and then moving down to an A. So you're sliding in like a minor position, like a minor 7. If you play an E minor 7 chord here, and then up 2 frets, but you're not playing the whole chord, because that's really not what you're playing. You're playing basically on the D, G, and B strings, and you're sliding in to that, sliding in, which makes it an A chord. Okay, so it's not really an F sharp minor 7. It's just these 3 notes of an A chord. Slide down a whole step, making it more like a G chord, and then barring those 3 of a D chord. So the first riff is, and then the second one starts back on this G phrase to an A. So that's the riff chord wise, and then, and I have a little phase. I forgot to turn the phase. Back in this day and age, phase shifters were all cool, so I heard a little subtle phase in. So that's the main chord part to the riff, but again, the sliding part, starting with the sliding in on the A string to the A note, A string, E to F sharp, and then hitting that A, and then sometimes you're hitting more than just the A, you're adding that D. So that's how it starts, and you want to get used to that little riff, just even practice it. All right, get used to that riff. Alright, so you slide in that much, and then slide into the A chord on there, and then back down from the A to the G, and then hit the D there. That's the first half, and then you slide again, and again the A is not the whole A chord, you're just doing the main part of the. And again, note the muting too. If I let it ring out like I was just doing to show you for emphasis, that also is not the way that it makes this song sound. You gotta mute it. So those little techniques are what I think gives it the flavor of the song. Even if you hit the chords right, you want to have those little subtle things and practice those. Even the little deadened string chicks, it's a percussive. Always think of the guitar as a percussion instrument. And that gives it a little feel to the whole song and keeps you in rhythm too. So that's the main riff to the song, and that's what everybody's heard, and it's kind of the fun part of the song. Now, the rest of the chords on this thing, during the verse part, it's just D, C, A, and then a B minor 7 to A. It kind of has the feel of a D, but I hear that. So it's D, C, A, B minor, A. And then the rhythm, it's down, up, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So it's on the 1 and the and of 1. 1 and 2. It's 1 and 2. So repeats that 4 times during the verse. Living ahead to the promised land. All right, 4 times. And then the other part is an F sharp minor. These are accents. 2 accents on the F sharp minor, G, and A. And then it repeats the F sharp minor, G, and goes to a D the second time. And then F sharp, G, and D. Those are those accents. Freeride. That's where you. Okay, that's where there's a lead lick that goes. Nice little chromatic walk down. You slide in from the A, but you accent on the C. You slide up to the A and then accent on the C and go half step. Alright? That's what the lead guitar does. Alright? But then when I play it then, if you're playing it just with one guitar, I kind of mix it in. I do that, the lick, when he does the slide in. That's actually the beginning of that riff that I just showed you. He's just playing the sliding into the A note here instead of. See? So you can kind of merge both those parts in together. And then that's really the main part of the rhythm part of the song. And it's got some nice lead licks in there too. But we're just going to go over and cover this main rhythm part. Now, one of the coolest parts of this song, though, is after they do the breakdown in the middle. There's a bass line that breaks down there, and then after it all breaks down, and then the guitar comes in with this riff, walking back up to the initial riff. So it's. I love that, right? Again, sliding, he slides into. So it's kind of, to me, I like to just do it with the, reversing the chords. These are the chords. Right? And then you reverse them because you're going back into it. So the A, D, G, and then. you listen to it, technically, I think he slides more like. But I like to walk back up even, and you mainly hear these notes. So this is a song you really want to get practicing on sliding into things. And you've got to slide into it.